3 years into the Civil War, and we're at a small girls' boarding school in the Deep South. And one of the girls comes by an injured Union soldier. She brings him in, and his presence, as they start to heal him, it slowly causes tension and division among the girls.
There might be other attractive shoulders here if we were all permitted to wear such dresses.
I wouldn't say it's entirely suitable for a young ladies' school, but we know Miss Edwina's accustomed to town society with different views. I would suggest that we change the subject, and that Miss Edwina draws her shawl. Yes. That will avoid any more speculation on the subject.
I know that we were trying to think of a movie where the coloring and the lighting was the exact same as this one.
Do you remember that movie, The Innocents, that we watched a while ago? The black and white movie about the nanny that goes...
Yeah,
and starts taking care of the children, and
then they start seeing
ghosts.
Things in the window?
I was thinking about it, just the whole atmosphere felt a lot like that, a big house, but it feels claustrophobic. It's so much fun just to watch everything play out, just to see the candlelight, to feel almost like just by being with them in that house for an hour makes you feel like you would go insane if you were there. Now, another thing that it reminded...
Also, costumes were great. I could not stop looking at the beautiful outfits those women were wearing.
That was one thing that I was going to mention that really freaked me out, was the way that some of the scenes were blocked.
Yeah.
Just where they were positioned wearing those costumes, they were
especially
really terrifying.
The main scene, the main thing that ends the trailer, where you thought, holy moly.
When he's looking at them when they're playing the music, and it's just
Nicole Kidman leaning on the fireplace.
A lot of the scary moments in the movies are side glances, or just kind of catching
crooked
someone's
smiles.
Smile whenever it happens and seeing it maybe a second too soon. And the scene whenever they're all praying before bed on the night where it's good, the way it feels incredibly ominous. It reminded me also of whenever we saw Foxcatcher, the way that you feel throughout the whole thing, even though
you feel
what you know
dirt
is going to happen in the end, even though it's a long way away, it just feels like there's this terrible thing building and growing throughout the whole movie, and it felt a lot like that sense of dread just starts getting bigger and bigger, and you know it's going to come out somewhere at the end.
So I think that was the best part about it, how she kept that feel throughout the entire thing. But whenever you finally got to the big punch where it should have been, oh, damn, that's how it broke. It didn't break.
Yeah, in the end, I would definitely recommend it to people.
Yeah.
I would probably even go see it again. But I think with some of Sofia Coppola's movies, have you seen Lost in Translation or Marie Antoinette?
I've seen Marie Antoinette, and I have slightly seen some stuff of Lost in Translation.
Well, they're a lot of fun to watch, but it ends. Most of her movies feel like they end way too soon. With Marie Antoinette, it ends whenever she's taken away from Versailles before she's even hung. You don't even see. It didn't feel like it ended before the third act. It felt like you got up to the end of the second act, and then they went ahead and skipped ahead. I would have really liked to see 20 more minutes in the movie. 20 to 30 more minutes.
The movie could have done that. But whenever it hit the point of an hour and 15 minutes, and you knew there were only 15 minutes left, then what their plan was what's going to happen. And you knew it would be a letdown. Not so much a letdown, but I felt a little bit defeated.
There's a shot at the end that is the type of iconic shot that would end up being... It would end up being the cover art for the movie. Years from now, people would be making art of that last image because it's really powerful. But it felt like I didn't feel as
their characters
as strange about those women as you could tell you were supposed to feel, because at the end it felt like it was building and it kind of just fizzled.
I would probably do the same thing that the women did, because they were just scared. And that's a normal thing that happened. But that shot had so much more of a twisted essence about it. But it didn't reflect correctly on them.
I felt like it wanted it to feel twisted. And I felt like the decisions that the women made throughout the movie were completely logical decisions.
Yeah.
And in the end, I didn't want to feel as safe when looking at those women at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, It is a very creepy movie. I felt the ending was a letdown, but even still, in the days since we've seen it, it's been sticking in my mind quite a lot, and it feels like a rock in the shoe. It's just it keeps bugging me.
It does bug me because I feel like the ending bugged me, but leading up to it, I have mainly been thinking about the scenes in between there that, you know, kept you in suspense throughout the entire thing.